Hello and welcome to episode 142 of Explore Your Enthusiasm. I'm Tara Swiger, and this week we are doing something different. So this week I am bringing you conversations from the trade show floor at TNNA, the National Needle Arts Association trade show. It was just held in San Jose in January. I taught 3 classes. The classes are mostly aimed at yarn shop owners with some designers in there, but I walked around the floor on Saturday and I ran into yarn shop owners I know. I met a couple vendors, people who sell yarn that I haven't met before. And the reason why I'm bringing you these conversations is whether you're in the yarn industry or not, and I know many of you are not, your industry has a trade show. So whether it's the Craft and Hobby Association, whether it's the annual gift show, whether it's the stationery shows, there are trade shows for your industry. And if you're not in the industry or you haven't gone to one yet, I thought this might be fun to see what they're like and what people's booths look like, the kind of conversations people have, what people are prepared to say when I walk up to their booth and how they deliver it. The vendors that I talked to were excellent at that. They were all great, and all of them, by the way, totally caught by surprise because I was doing this all on Facebook Live. So you can go to my Facebook page, facebook.com/Tara Swiger page. And from time to time, when I'm at an event or doing at a conference, I will Facebook Live and just introduce you to people who are there. So that's what I did this time. And I do want to say this is a edited version of our conversations because I was just walking around. I was talking to the people who were watching Facebook Live. They were asking me questions. I was responding. I was also just kind of strolling around. Oh, hey, how are you? So I cut out the parts that I think don't make a lot of sense if you weren't there and left in the parts where people are clearly telling you what they're working on. And yeah, if you normally listen to the audio version, and that's what you're listening to right now, you might want to go watch the video at taraswiger.com/podcast142, no spaces, podcast 142, to see the video of this, because you're going to see beautiful yarn, you're going to see a gorgeous dress right in the beginning, you're going to actually see the faces as people talk, and in a kind of loud, crowded space, sometimes it can be easier to hear it if you're watching them talk. So I hope you enjoy this, and I hope that you then go visit the vendors and yarn shops I've talked to. I've made a list and I've linked all of them up at taraswiger.com/podcast142. And if you're thinking of doing a trade show or you have questions about it, you can always comment and ask. If you're watching this video on YouTube, like it, leave a comment below. If you're listening to the audio podcast, go into iTunes, leave a review or share it with a friend. And it's my hope that this kind of makes trade shows less mysterious for you. I want to back up and say, I am not the expert on trade shows. Like I said, I was a teacher there teaching yarn shop owners and designers how to market and share their work and how to fill their classes and how to do email marketing. But I talked to a lot of people about what they got out of it, both the shoppers, what they're going and hoping to find, and the vendors, what they're hoping to get out of it and what they're hoping to do for their business. So this is a little peek behind the scenes. I did want to say, when I was talking about this earlier, somebody asked me, what is a trade show? So in case you don't know what I'm talking about, a trade show is a wholesale only show that's closed to anyone who's not in the industry. What that means is that vendors who want to wholesale their work and have them appear on shop shelves go buy booth space, set up a booth, and shop owners who want to have stuff on their shelves go and buy stuff. So TNNA is where your yarn shop or your needlework shop goes to do their shopping each year. There are 2 shows in the spring and in the summer. Your yarn shop might go to both. They might just go to one every couple years. Then there are, trade shows for every kind of industry you can imagine. So if you are interested in doing more wholesale shows, look into your local trade show, not local, but industry-specific trade show. You might have to travel a fair bit to get to it. And at the very end, I talked to Stacy Trock of Fresh Stitches, and she is a creative director now of Luette North America. She actually talks about why you might want to come to a trade show and what you can expect. And at the very end, she gives her very best piece of advice for going to a trade show. So make sure and listen through that. Thank you so much for listening, and I wish you an enthusiastic day and enjoy this look at the trade show. Enthusiasm with me, Tara Swiger, where we explore the intersection of making art and making money. Hey guys, so I'm at TNNA and I'm about to go on the trade show. Here with yarn shop owners, Meredith and Barb from the Yarn Over Truck. It was like a really surprised face you're making. So what have you seen so far that you like? Or do you not want to play favorites?
Well, because we do a yarn club, I'm looking at other things. I'm looking at extras, like found some cool scissors and maybe some cool stitch markers, maybe some shawl pins. So we're looking at other stuff for us. Yeah. Because for us, too many other yarn store owners are here. Right. And we partner with them. So our whole thing is finding things that are unique and different.
Yeah. And you guys work with tons of indie dyers.
Absolutely.
So you have that kind of covered. Yep. And then you're wearing crochet, and it made me think, you told me last night you were looking for crochet designers.
Absolutely.
Yes. Okay. So do you hear that? They're looking for crochet designers.
They're looking for crochet designers. And this is a lovely piece by Joanne. I think her last name is Sarth. She's in the UK. It's called the Contour Shawl, and it's one of my faves.
It's beautiful. I love it. And you are looking for crochet designers who do higher-end accessories. Beautiful shawls.
Our people love shawls and towels and mitts, and because we're a small truck, and we've got higher-end hand-dyed natural fiber yarns. So, you know, a customer won't have too much of a problem buying a single skein or maybe two to do their project. It's a little pricey when you're up in the 3 to 4 skeins. Yeah. So to have some really pretty, beautiful patterns to show them helps us sell yarn for sure.
Awesome. So did you hear that, crochet designers? Send your ideas.
Yarn Over Truck.
Yarn Over Truck. They're at Yarn Over Truck. Anna asks, is TNNA only for yarn shop owners or also for other businesses? So
you have to be a member. You have to be a member of TNNA, so it's not a public show. Like, not anybody can just come in and go shopping.
Right.
This is for the stores to look for products to sell.
Yes.
So we're looking at wholesale.
This is Ben. He's from the Nifty Knitter in Issaquah, Washington. And this is Sarah. Do you work at the shop? And
Yes.
Yes.
I work at the shop part-time, and I'm also one of his local indie dyers.
Excellent. Well, hi. So what are you looking for today at the show?
I'm looking for some, looking for cakes. I'm also looking for some looms potentially. Okay. And some yarns I've never seen before. This is my first convention here too, so I'm very new to this. So
Excellent.
I'm trying to figure out what unique things I can find here.
Right, and what nobody else over in your area has. And
that's tricky because we got a lot of yarn shops.
Exactly. You've only been open for a couple months. Do you know what is like selling well?
Malabrigo.
Yeah.
Cascades, so kind of like the bread and butter for that. And we also did quite a bit of local yarns.
Okay.
And the indie dyers, as I've been trickling them in.
Okay.
Have also done really well because the local's awesome.
Yeah. And the thing that people can't find as easily online. Nope. Like if you become a curator of your local yarns, it's harder to buy that from an online site.
Exactly.
I met you at Yarn Market News Conference.
Excellent.
Yeah. I'm Heidi.
Hi, Heidi. Yeah. So you do all of this, and it's gorgeous.
We do 100% cashmere.
Excellent.
And that's all we do because we feel everybody's worth it.
That's the best line ever.
Yeah.
And she was saying that everything is made and everything in Boise?
Yeah, Boise, Idaho. That's where we're from.
That's amazing. So it's built.
So we ply it in Boise, Idaho. We have dyers do it for us. Okay. So we ply it, put the twist in it, and create the skeins in our studio in Boise.
That's amazing.
Thanks. Yeah, it's really, really fun.
Excellent.
Yeah, and we're open if anybody's coming in the area, they can come in and see our process.
Oh, that's very cool. Yeah, I do know that I have some students in Boise, so you should go check out. It's called Lux Adorna. Yes, absolutely great. What's your website?
LuxAdornaKnits.com.
That's super easy. How long have you guys been doing this?
We've been doing this 4 years. I started as a recycler. So I started recycling cashmere first as a test market to see if there was a good market for it. Yeah. And then found there was a great market for it. So then I just dove in head first.
Yay. That's such a great story. I love it so much.
Thanks, Tara, for listening with us.
No problem. So this is Laura. She was one of my students yesterday. Tell me about your shop.
My shop is Pioneer Yarn Company. It's in Minden, Nevada, which is just near South Lake Tahoe, but on the valley floor.
Okay.
And I've been its owner for 3.5 months.
Yay! You can do it.
And we're having fun.
Yeah. So this is your first time at market then?
This is mine.
Yeah.
Yes.
Hi. Would you like to introduce yourself?
I'm Sabrina. I'm the owner of Anzula.
Oh, excellent.
Yeah. It's our 15-year anniversary.
Congratulations.
So we have cash and carry full-size skeins for shops.
Excellent.
And then we have the small skeins for ordering. We also have little baskets that you can take samples of to play with in your room to see whether you like the yarn or not.
Yeah.
How it works for the idea of what you want to do in your store.
Like, do you mind if I ask you some questions? Are you the dyer? Do you have a team of dyers?
Yes and yes.
Okay.
So until about 2014, and I could be slightly wrong on that date, I was doing all the dyeing. I always had an assistant helping me.
Oh my goodness.
Well, not always. Since 2010, I had an assistant helping me. And around 2013-14, I had an injury that didn't allow me to do all the dyeing. And so I trained some of my team members to start taking over some of what I couldn't do.
Yeah.
And now I couldn't just sit at home while I was recovering, so I went on the road and started doing more trunk shows.
That's fantastic.
And so now most of my job is on the road doing events in our stores, and my team back home does all the dyeing and processing and shipping to stores.
I love that.
Yeah.
That would explain why I feel like I hear about you everywhere I go. Hand-dyed and
Yes. Yes, in Fresno, California.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
all of our wool, all of our yarn is mill spun in North America. Sustainability and keeping as small as possible carbon footprint is very important to us. We recycle our water all day in our factory.
Excellent.
So that we're not dumping the water after every dye pot. We use the same water all day long.
Yes.
And all of our, I said this already, but all of our yarn is mill spun in North America. All of our wool, all of our merino is from New Zealand and Australia.
Okay.
It's from muled sheep.
Yes. So that had to be hard to find. Awesome that you were able to find that.
Yes.
It's fantastic.
And we have a lot of gratitude to our mills for that, because they do the sourcing of the fiber and they understand how important those things are.
Right.
And so they understand where we're coming from as a business, and they have the same, all of our mills have the same philosophy.
Right.
So we really appreciate that.
Yeah. So you're working with mills, and I think that's what a lot of people don't realize is a big part of your relationships is working with the mills to get the yarn right.
Yes.
And then working with your dyers to get the colors right.
It takes usually about a year, sometimes longer, for me to have a yarn come out. So we came out with all of our wool and silk yarns somehow at the exact same time as everybody else. But we'd been working on it for about a year and a half.
Yeah,
I was like, how did this happen?
It was like in the air that you guys all got the same idea.
Yeah. But then there was market saturation, and
you're like,
it's fine, whatever.
Yeah. Well, that's why you keep innovating, right?
Yes.
And trying new things.
And we have a really cool wool that I think is going to come out at Stitches West. It's the only retail show we do.
Yeah.
And it's very important. Community yarn. Knitters, crocheters, weavers, we're community-based people.
Yeah.
And for me, the yarn shops are the basis for our community.
Yes.
So it's very important to me to keep what we do in the yarn stores.
Right.
So I don't do a lot of retail trade shows.
Yeah.
The first show I ever did that was outside of a farmer's market was Stitches West. It holds a very special place in my heart.
Yeah.
So as long as it doesn't negatively impact my stores, I'm continuing to do Stitches West.
Yeah.
It's the only retail show I do.
Yeah.
Or we do. Otherwise, you only can find us in our stores, and I tour the country all year long doing events in our stores.
That's pretty cool.
I am very fortunate and very fantastic team.
Yeah.
I could not do it without my team.
Yeah. Well, the fact that you're able to spend this time talking to me, so many people have booths here, like, they don't have the time because they don't have the team.
Yeah.
That's like, I can see your team are selling things.
Yes, they are amazing.
Yeah, I love it.
They're the hardest working people I know.
I love it so much.
Yes.
Well, this is awesome. Thank you so much for taking your time to talk to me. And what you said about yarn stores. So yesterday I taught the all-day class on branding your yarn shop. And that's the thing I always tell yarn shops is that you're the center of community. Nobody can find that online.
Right.
So if you work with brands like you that will support that, it's gonna benefit everybody.
Yes.
But that's
we get market reports, and we hear from a lot of yarn stores that they're worried that customers are using their store to find colors and then going to the internet to buy something. The market report is actually saying the opposite is happening.
Yes.
They're using the internet to find products and then going to the store to figure out what they actually want to buy.
Exactly.
They're finding the stores that they want to shop in, and then they go in there and touch and feel and find the right thing.
So one of the stats I used in my class is from the TNNA report that 70% of people go into a yarn shop just to support that yarn shop, not to buy specific products. So like 70%. So talk to those people, right? Give them what they want. And what everybody wants is the Ansula. So have a really good show.
Thank you
Thanks
so
again
much.
for talking to me.
Thank you.
I'm here in the Louette North America booth with Stacy Trock of Fresh Stitches and creative director of Louette, and she has things she wants to tell you designers and yarn dyers. And also Stacy's my roommate, so we've just been hanging out talking about this. She's knitting out of one of the giant bumps of Louette wool.
This is merino top, organic merino top, so soft and squishy. So this is a booth. Booths are sold in 10-foot segments. So you buy a 10-foot segment, and I don't know how many trade shows people are used to doing, but TNNA is pretty cheap for trade shows. Like some other trade shows are like crazy expensive. For an indie dyer, it's not unreasonable to come in, get a 10 by 10 booth, and you're getting a targeted audience. So I'm sure Tara talks about this, but having an audience who's like, okay, great, you got in front of 1 million people, but only 10 of them knit or crochet, you didn't reach your target audience. So this is yarn stores shopping for specific materials.
And if you want to increase your wholesale orders, you want to be in yarn shops, this is the way it happens. You can get a rep, but the rep is often asked, reps have told me, are they going to be at TNNA?
Yep.
Because they want to come and fondle and see, and if you're not here, making wholesale orders to yarn shops is pretty hard.
Yeah, and it's also a place where we talk about getting supplies. So Louette, we mill our own yarn with our mill in South Africa, so the base is our base that we have milled to our specifications, and we do sell the bases to dyers. So if you're looking to source things as well, and we have 150 fibers, this is the place to come to shop around. Oh, yeah. Fluff.
No, but and also you were telling me that gems is great for dyeing.
It's super great. So we have an example of one of our indie dyers here, and we love working with other with people. And I know some people are secretive, blah, 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 but if you don't mind telling us that you use our base. So this is Crazy Dog Yarns. She's local to where the company is based in Ontario, and she's done these gorgeous self-striping yarns, and we work to promote the indie dyers if they're willing to let this cat, we have people who won't let the cat out of the bag, but if you're willing to let the cat out of the bag, then we're happy to promote you too, because so she doesn't have a place at the show, but she's here with us because she's using our base and working with us, and we're putting this out on social media as well. So that's a really great way to connect with other people, and this all happens at the show, when you're talking to a real live person.
Definitely. But for those of you who ask me, where do dyers find their yarn bases? How do I find yarn bases?
Companies have yarn bases.
Right. Also, Louette specifically, they will sell you their undyed yarn you don't have to make massive, giant orders.
We actually have no minimum order.
No minimum order. So you can
you can buy a whole bag of 5.
Right.
So
but that's like for a new dyer, that's amazing. And so you can get their undyed gems. And
that's
comes
actually
in 3 weights.
One.
That's a bleached one.
Yeah, see? Yeah, that's the undyed.
It's so pretty. And so gems comes in 3 weights. So that's perfect for the new dyer. And they also have linen.
Yep, we have linen.
And Euroflax.
Yep, Euroflax. This is actually our most popular because it's a really, really nice linen. So for folks who are into plant dyes, bit of a different process. But there's not a ton of indie plant dyers out there, but you can get this and sort of different. I know it can feel saturated, the indie dyer market, but if you are able to experiment with some plant dyes and put this out there. We also can do custom put-ups. So if you want to contact us and you're into selling 800 yard skeins, because we're getting it from the mill on the cones, if you're willing to, you probably need a minimum order. But if you want to talk with us about that, then we can help you create an exclusive product.
And that's perfect if you're working with a designer and you want to put together a kit, and maybe it would take 2.5 skeins. You can talk to them about getting a put-up that's perfect for your kit, that goes with your design, and then you have something that no one else has.
Yeah, I think that's kind of, you want to differentiate yourself in the market a bit, and so finding a way to get something special for you is a really good way to go about it. Yeah. And that's also like when you come to a show, I encourage people to ask what can you do that's a little different? Because I know sometimes we have our color card and we're supposed to tell you like these are the colors and whatever, but you just say like, hey, can you do something that's different? We just like forget to ask. Like we're not going to also tell you, oh yeah, this is the list of all 150 fibers we have, because most people would run away. So if you go around to the booths and you say, hey, what's a little something different that we can do, then you sometimes get an answer about something different. And coming as a consumer to the, not as a consumer, but as a small indie yarn company, you can come as an attendee before having a booth. So that's something not a lot of people know. So you can come, it's a really reasonable annual membership fee. A lot of times if you can hook up with someone on Ravelry, share a hotel room, share something like that, you can come and get the experience and do shopping and not have committed to having your booth yet.
Exactly. And if you can't make it, because some people are watching from the UK and Europe, if you can't make it to the show, you can still contact Louette about their bases.
And when you come, wear comfortable shoes. That's the secret. These are Clark's, so they're not uncomfortable. Your comfortable shoes. No, that's like the number one secret to success at TNNA is wearing comfortable shoes. Yes.
Yesterday, of course I was teaching, but yesterday my watch told me that I walked like 15 miles. And that's before I even came to the show floor. Thanks, Stacy.
Thank you.
Oh, and how should they contact you?
Stacy at Louette.com. So STACEY at LOUET.com.
Thanks so much for watching. You can get weekly lessons like this in your inbox, along with access to worksheets and checklists and transcripts from all the podcast episodes when you sign up below. You can also subscribe on YouTube, and YouTube will notify you when there's a new video. And you can follow me on Twitter or Instagram. If you do, be sure to say hello or leave a comment below the video to let me know you're there. Thank you so much for watching, and have a very enthusiastic day.